right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, R Pink. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding for me. As always, you're the best. Steel and Stone, happy Friday to you as well. And Michael Mitzal, welcome in. Good evening to you. It's a midday here for me, pretty much, but welcome in. Guys, yesterday, we talked about a couple different scenarios on Bitcoin. And we were talking about this push to the downside from $76,000 and how it was likely to be an impulsive push to the downside where we had two counts, a 1, 2, 3, a running flat and a 4 and a 5, where we possibly could have ended it here yesterday. But I told you that I didn't really like that count, and I liked the count better that was the end of our third wave. So a wave 1, a wave 2, wave 3, and we were expecting a move up between the 382 and the 0.5 for a wave 4 before coming down and making another new low in a wave 5. So because of that, yesterday we had marked out our levels of resistance, local resistance, where I did end up taking a long in this area, but I was looking to take profit at the purple box of resistance or above at the pitchfork band where our 0.5 was. So if we throw on that Fibonacci extinction target, wave 4 targets for our level, you can see our target was between the 382 Fibonacci and the 0.5 Fibonacci. We wanted to see this move up in a zigzag pattern here, a 3-wave zigzag pattern to the upside, rejecting, seeing volume go lower and lower and lower as we were pushing up. We were seeing volume decrease as we came into that resistance overall. And then, of course, we wanted to see a rejection and an increase in volume after the rejection. And this is exactly what we're getting here. So I did take profit. I took 50% profit out at the 382, and I still am in that long position. Now I'm 60% out total because remember, I did take some out at the VWAP. I took 10% out at the VWAP just to cover fees. And I am expecting a new low. But here's the thing. Was this the end of the wave 4? It is very similar in time to your wave 2, very similar in time and price to the wave 2. So that is acceptable. It is possible that this is done and we come down and make a new local low relatively soon here over the weekend, probably, or maybe even today before market close. But we can say sometimes your fourth waves are extended a bit longer, and this could be just a push up in a W because it's a 3-wave move. We could be seeing a 3-wave move down in an X, and then we could get another push up to that 0.5 Fibonacci in a wave Y, seeing a larger complex correction here before making that low. And if that is the case, because we are going into the weekend, so if that is the case, we expect a range over the weekend, right? And so there is a possibility that we're still going to make a higher low here around the golden pocket 786 zone and see another push up to 71.8. But I will tell you this. First off, I did compound the short again, my short that I took up in this area. I've taken 3 TPs on it. I recompounded it also right here on the back test of the pitchfork band. And I pulled 50% out of my long and I actually added to my short here. Now, yesterday, after the stream ended, I did let you guys know in the Telegram that, first off, we were breaking out. So let me go on to the 15-minute. And we had this channel that we were in, this small channel that we were in here. And we were, let me pull it up to that high there. And let me just make this pink. So this is the same channel we were looking at yesterday during the stream. And we were attempting, during the stream yesterday, we broke out of the channel, we back tested it, and we were right in this area as I was ending. But I expected us at least to come out and take out this local high because the immediate back test. So we did come take out that local high right afterwards. And then we saw a bigger drop to back test the VWAP and to back test a little bit of a higher time frame back test of the channel breakout. Now, right when we were testing this channel, I said, guys, this is the test right now. If it holds, I expect us to come up to 71,093, 094. We did hold it, and that is where I expected us to come up to, and we did push up into that area, and that is where we saw our rejection. So it played out really perfectly. I mean, you could have even scalped long this thing right here. As soon as you started to close above, you could have longed this with your stop below that local low. And you could have even, if it's, you guys get the idea, stop below the local low, coming up to the purple box of resistance. It was at least a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. It was, yeah, a 5. You could have even said a 5-6 risk to reward ratio there for that scalp long. I was a little bit busy, preoccupied with some family stuff going on, so I didn't end up taking that, even though I did let you guys know in the Telegram that that was likely to happen. And also in the Telegram, I let you know, now that we're seeing that small pullback before, because one of the things we were looking at yesterday in the stream is pushing up in this to the 382, then seeing a pullback, and then pushing up to the 0.5 is your bigger wave 4. But because we pulled back beforehand, I said now we might end our wave 4 around 71.1, and that's pretty much what happened there. But let's talk about in terms of not Elliott waves. That was our wave 4 Elliott wave. So it is playing out perfectly. We are rejecting perfectly from that zone. But let's just talk in terms of volume profiles, because another really important strategy that I follow is the volume profile strategy. And we've been inside of this range for about 6 weeks now. Remember the last time we broke out of the range, we hit into the anchored VWAP, we formed a failed auction, we broke back inside the range, and we did end up working our way to the value area low. We filled that volume profile. Well, what is happening here is the other day we broke back into the range. We had our immediate low time frame back test. We rejected, so we fell to the POC. The POC did give us a nice bounce. There was some nice confluence there for some support, the pitchfork band as well. And what we were looking for is the bearish backtest of the value area high. And depending on what happened on the bearish backtest, it would confirm reacceptance back with inside this range, showing that this was a failed auction up here, a failed auction range, and that we are likely to come down and fill the range again, at the very least. So bounce from POC, bearish backtest of the value area high, we are rejecting, and you do know that when you fall back inside a volume profile, you have your generally low time frame immediate backtest, then you have a higher time frame backtest after bouncing from a support, generally it's the POC, and now that we're rejecting there, because we are rejecting and confirming reacceptance back within the value area high, first and foremost, it's likely that we take out this low, okay? So we should have a bias of local downside to take out the low from yesterday. But also, it is likely that even after taking out that low, we could see a bounce up to our golden pocket area, but then we are likely to fill the volume profile. And so combining Elliott waves with volume profile theory, I do think we are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after this fifth wave ends, after one more low, we could see a nice bounce that takes about a week or so coming up between your golden pocket and your 786 area. And that would be your prime short. This short right up here could be a very, very nice short that could end up being like a $10,000 drop to the downside or more. So let me just grab our Elliott waves here. And what I'm looking at is a wave 1. We still need one more low to complete that wave 1, a wave 2, and then our wave 3 could get really, really spicy to the downside. Let me just put those on real quick. Then we could see our wave 3 come, and we could see a wave 4 before seeing our wave 5. So I am looking for that potential drop in an impulse to completely take out this low. And that would, now, as far as time goes within this range, it is about 6 times longer than our wave 2 retracement in the larger extended fifth wave. And we know that we are looking for that extended fifth wave to end on the next macro low. But the way that this is pushing down here, starting with an impulse, is looking like we are going to get that macro dump in the next month to 2 months. We should be expecting a dump. Now, we have to be careful though, because last time we rejected from the anchored VWAP, this looked like an impulse to start. And if you guys remember, I was looking for a lower high before seeing that dump in a lower low and coming down. It did not happen. We continued to range and actually even made new range highs. But this time we did hit the 0.5 Fibonacci of our non-log. Let's see here. Where is that? I need to get rid of some of these. right there, 0.5 Fibonacci. We hit it. That is your wave 4 target for a bigger rejection. And the rejection I'm talking about is, let me get rid of this for a second. From 98K, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So if we're in the fifth and final leg to the downside, first off, that has a lesser probability just because the length of this range. But let's just say that it is still a valid scenario, and we expect impulses to the downside. 5-wave impulse, which we're in right now, we're in the first leg of our larger impulse. We should see that correction coming in maybe sometime next week, followed by the big dump. And this big dump right here, this third wave, is what you really, really want to catch to the downside. And the real, we don't really know the exact levels where we're going to end yet. So we can pull, once we get a little bit more data on the charts, we can pull where that third wave is likely to end. But the next low that we take locally, I will be looking for longs. If we take out yesterday's low and bounce, now we don't really have too much support below us here, but if we do take out yesterday's low, it would end this first leg of the 5-wave impulse, and I would be looking for a day trade retracement long opportunity before seeing the big third wave come in. Here's the thing with this impulse right now. We could see, because we're finding reacceptance back within the volume profile, because we bearishly backtested here, this fifth wave could extend all the way down to our $66,000 support. And this all could be a wave 1 before seeing a larger retracement to backtest your value area high and your pitchfork before seeing the big wave 3, where that wave 3 could honestly take out 60K, get a retracement on the SFP of 60K before coming down to 57K. Or 58K on a wave 5. We don't have enough data on the charts. We'll have to just diagnose that as more data comes. But either way, guys, we are finding reacceptance back within our volume profile. So it is likely that we fill it to the bottom. We also are, you know, the bulls had their chance. The bulls had their chance last week at when we were coming up to this $75,300 to $75,600 resistance. If they were able to continue this breakout, we would have invalidated the bigger bearish scenarios and possibly moved up to 85K. But they're failing. They're failing, and this range, this entire range here, looks more corrective before seeing that big dump, just like everyone was faked out in this range between 80 and 98K, where this last leg, a lot of people were longing, hoping for a breakout to new all-time highs, or at least, you know, mid 110, 105, those areas, and we got the aggressive dump. It looks like to me that we are about to get the aggressive dump to the downside. We do have the green dot on the weekly, and the green dot on the weekly has historically given us a few weeks of a push to the upside. So there is some bullish hope here. And in that bullish hope that we have, really what we're looking for, let me just get rid of some of this stuff. The bullish hope is that we are still in a WXY correction and our Y wave is not done. So we need some higher before coming down to take out those lows. And so if that is the case, we need to, first off, it's already kind of bearish that we're breaking market structure. But we can still make a higher low before continuing that up and then seeing that big dump come in. So it's not necessarily, if you're a bull, it's not necessarily game over quite yet. And we just watch the local levels, right? So when we don't know what is exactly going to happen, first of all, you never actually know what's going to happen. If you did, I mean, you'd be a billionaire, right? Or whatever. But mark out your levels of confluence and trade the levels if you have the proper confirmation. There's a reason why I longed yesterday, even though I'm expecting this to break down to sub 60K. Because we can still take scalp longs at key support zones if you have the bullish confirmation to enter the long. There's a reason why I shorted up here, even though it looked like the bullish scenario might continue. So it doesn't matter. As traders, it doesn't matter what price is going to do. We mark out the levels of confluence and we trade the levels if we have confirmation. But welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Quality Crypto, welcome in. Crypto Wander 1, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Warthog Thunderbolt, good afternoon to you as well. Little Rich 69, Crypto Clown World, welcome in, guys. And Fitcoin by TE Club, hello to you. JMA2, welcome in as well. So, guys, we're going into the weekend. And going into the weekend, we know that oftentimes going into the weekend, it's pretty boring, right? And so, and John Shanks, welcome in as well, man. Much love. Great to see you in here. Diz Column, welcome in. And Liam, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for commenting, man. Appreciate you. The range. Okay, getting back to what going into the weekend. Now, we are in a geopolitical time of turmoil. And the weekends have actually been pretty aggressive within this range, at least over the last 2 or 3 weeks. The weekends have been pretty aggressive because a lot of these geopolitical events happen on the weekend when it will have less effect on the markets. So being technical traders, but also keeping into mind what's happening in the real world, taking that into account, we can know that the weekend could get volatile. It could get very volatile. But as far as usually Saturdays are pretty dang boring. And you know, Friday afternoon, Saturdays, all that's pretty dang boring. So we could expect, you know, a range maybe between the POC and the value area high, you know, something like this guy to kind of continue to start to range in here. But I am expecting some new lows. The question is the fourth wave done with just this little bit? It was a little bit shorter. So if we look at our wave 2 retracement, it was about 21 hours, right? 21 hours, WXY with the Y ending in a triangle. Because your wave 2, the entire wave 2 can't be a triangle, but the Y wave can be a triangle. So 21 hours there. If we look at the amount of time that this took in our wave 4 retracement, 17 hours. So it did take a little bit less, but it is close enough in time and price where that is acceptable and the wave 4 could be done. And we are going to push down in that last 5th wave to the downside. So, but wave 4s are often longer than your wave 2s and generally 2 or 3 times longer. So there is the possibility that we are going to bounce here and make another new local high, kind of taking out and sweeping this liquidity in here before seeing that 5th and final dump to the downside, which could happen Sunday afternoon or Monday morning, New York Open. And then we would expect a bigger retracement to Golden Pocket 786, somewhere in that zone. We do have some imbalances in here, so we might fill those imbalances. And we can, once we get that new low coming in, we can pull our fib to wherever that new low is going to be coming in. You can see the Bybit POC has not been hit. It is at 68K. The Coinbase POC is much higher. It's pretty much where we ended yesterday. But if we pull it, let's say our next new low is going to end at the Bybit POC, we can be looking for a retracement to around this area. And this area, by the way, really important support resistance flip zone, right? You can see this entire range in here. Resistance, 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 support, support, support. So if we do come up to there, that would be a support resistance flip. That would be very nice to see. But first, we would need to get this push down here, and then we would expect a bigger 3-wave retracement before that volatile dump to the downside. Mind Tapestry, welcome in, my man. Much love. Yeah, guys, please like the stream. If you do get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, please like the stream. Please share it with anyone you think might find it interesting. And just thank you guys for being here. Happy Friday to you all. I hope you guys all had a good week of trading. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Remember to take some time away from the charts, spend some time with family, do what's really important, you know, quality time with family and with friends, getting away from the charts. Having balance in your life is key. It will also help you trade better. Very nice outside, at least where I'm at now. So yeah, just make sure you guys do get some away time from the screen. That's what alerts are for, guys. Alerts are great. You set an alert, you know, you get that alert going off, and then boom. Now, I do want to talk about some other things going on here because Ethereum looking good for a potential long soon. Solana, I did tell you guys earlier today in the Discord that I did compound that long position after taking a 50% TP on it. We'll go into both those soon, but I want to talk about this total market cap on crypto. We talked about this at the end of the stream yesterday. And remember yesterday, right when we were ending the stream, this daily candle from yesterday was pretty much right at the value area high. We were seeing a bounce and we were right at the value area high. But by the time the daily candle closed, it closed back inside the volume profile. And I said that this close was going to be super important. Getting the close back inside the volume profile is bearish. If we were able to close at or above the value area high, that would have been a sign that maybe we can continue up here. But as far as our larger pitchfork structure goes, guys, this is what's scary. If you're a bull, this is what's scary. And this is more confluence for Bitcoin taking out 60K lows. I mean, we have had this pitchfork, and this pitchfork is pulled from the major all-time highs in 2025 down to your corrective lows in 2025. Right? Those three pivots there. And we're looking at our most bearish trend here, an original pitchfork, your most bearish trend. Seeing that we were kind of chopping around the upper band for quite a bit. You know, this is pretty normal to kind of hold this. But when we lost that upper band, you came up for the back test, which also happened to be the back test of your anchored VWAP that you wanted to hold. So let's talk in terms real quick about anchored VWAPs, and that's your volume trend resistance, right? So you can see when we come up to down to the anchored VWAP, if it holds, you expect new highs. Now, as we were chopping sideways in this distribution range, towards the end of that distribution range, we kept coming down and bouncing from that anchored VWAP. It was trying to hold. Yes, you saw an aggressive wick on October 10th because that was that giant crash that happened. But you can see we had a lot of daily candle wicks below, but no daily candle closes below the anchored VWAP. It was trying to hold as our volume trend support, and we were forming this kind of triangle in here. But remember, triangle is a continuation consolidation pattern. Dumped coming into it, you have a higher probability to dump coming out of it. And once we lost it, we did make, you know, SFP'd the October 10th lows just to make a dead cat bounce to come back up to bearishly backtest that anchored VWAP. It also happened to be where the bearish backtest of your pitchfork band was. And that rejection there, when that happened on Bitcoin, I shorted that. I told you guys I was shorting that, and that was our big drop to 80.5K on Bitcoin, but it was also our big drop to the pitchfork midline on the total market cap. This, as soon as this happened and we started to reject here, we expected at least to take out this low, but probably to come down to your next major pitchfork level. And that's what happened. Now, we did bounce from that pitchfork midline, but it was just a bounce for a corrective range to backtest the bottom of the band now. So you backtest the top of the band, you reject, you come to the midline. After bouncing from the midline, you do expect a move to backtest the upper band sometimes, not always, but a lot of the time. This is the way pitchfork trading works. Soon as we started to reject here, and you saw that this overall structure looked like a three-wave corrective move, man, you were at least looking to come take out these lows. But if you lost the midline, because sometimes you don't lose the midline, you'll come down for a double bottom, SFPing that low into the pitchfork midline, and then you will bounce again. In an aggressive dump, you lose it. We did back test it immediately the next day after losing it. You can see we closed the first daily candle close. Let me just come in and delete this real quick. So we had this daily candle where we wicked past it quite a bit, but we didn't close any daily levels. The daily candle below it. The next day is when we lost it and closed the daily candle below it. The very next day, you come up for the bearish backtest. Immediate low time frame bearish backtest of that level. And that is when we backtested, rejected. You expect you could fall to the lower band. It could have been here. It could have been here. Happened to be here this time. So we did backtest, we did reject, we did fall to that lower band. And from there, we're seeing kind of a repeat of what happened in the last range, in this range, right? In this range, you backtest, or you bounce from the midline, you come up to backtest the upper band. In this range, we're bouncing from the lower band, we're coming up to backtest the pitchfork midline. we are seeing that perfect rejection from the pitchfork midline and from our 0.5 Fibonacci target, which is our wave 4 target. And it doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good that we're rejecting here. It doesn't look good that we're rejecting here, and it doesn't look good that we're finding reacceptance back within our volume profile, closing the daily candle back within. Even today, yesterday, today, kind of back testing that volume profile immediately, that value area high. So it is likely that we could see some dumpage coming in. Yeah. And so let's see, this range could extend a bit longer. We do often form, ranges in here that could extend a bit. But I mean, in the real bearish scenario, guys, in the real bearish scenario, we could be dumping all the way to the bottom of the pitchfork, which would be a very, very key liquidity grab. I would expect this to take 2 to 3 months to push down to that area, maybe a month or two, but you would expect it to take some time, right? But this could get very volatile. Knowing that we have that liquidity down there, guys, if we do come down and grab this liquidity into the bottom of the pitchfork and Bitcoin is seeing some bull divs on the daily time frame, it could be a freaking amazing swing long position. And then we could play the shorts on the way down as well. But this is a real possibility that I'm going to be keeping in my mind. So we just have to be aware that the bearish scenario, we are in a bear market. We did confirm high time frame bear divs on the weekly, on the monthly time frame. Okay, guys, I do want to take a second really quickly here to shout out the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade in the futures markets. And if you're trading on an exchange, if you're derivative trading on an exchange, you're using those futures markets anyway. So you're literally earning extra crypto or money for your trades that you're already taking. So I think that's a really great incentive there. And then they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. 50% deposit bonus on $100. You can get 20% deposit bonus up to $1,000 and a 10% deposit bonus up to $20,000, which most exchanges will give you a 10% deposit bonus on $10,000, but not on $20,000. So that's a really, really nice deposit bonus. You do have to KYC level 1 to get these deposit bonuses. But if you're interested, BYDFI link is in the description. I've also partnered with BYDFI to create that Telegram community where I do post my thoughts on the market, what's happening. Yesterday, I posted to you guys when we were bouncing from that channel on Bitcoin that I expected that the high could end at 71.1. Let me just zoom in here to the 15-minute. When we started to break that descending channel yesterday, I posted, guys, if we pull back and bounce right here from the breakout of that descending channel, our high might end at 71.1, right? This channel right here. We were back testing it. If we bounce there, I was expecting to come up here, but I said that the corrective move could end up here at the back test of the value area high in 382. I try to keep you guys updated in that Telegram. I try to let you guys know when I'm entering positions. Now, sometimes I don't, I'm not perfect on that. I don't let you guys know on some of the more risky positions because I don't know if you guys are using proper risk management, and I don't want to have a risky trade that I get stopped out and lose 1%, but maybe if you're not using proper risk management, you get totally destroyed on that. So I try to be a bit more conservative on my calls inside that Telegram, but I do keep you guys updated. And if you're interested in joining the Telegram, it is a private community, but it's free. All you need to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. You can deposit more and get those bigger deposit bonuses. But once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video or rpink posted in the chat. Thank you, rpink. And once you're in that Telegram channel, type in /verify in your BYDFI user ID, and then it will get you into that Telegram. And once you're in, you're in. Okay, second partner of the channel is Blowfin. I've recently partnered with Blowfin as the second non-KYC exchange. Blowfin is offering some 20% deposit bonuses in here, and VIP 1 for 30 days. If you deposit just $5, you can get $10 on the voucher, $10, like 200% of that $5. First 300 users only. Really good exchange. So that's our second non-KYC partner exchange is Blowfin. I have 2 KYC exchange partners being MEXC and Bybit. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures bonuses, and MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. Lastly is NAMI. Now, NAMI has just launched this new 2.0 product. This is a momentum and money flow indicator that I use for confirmations on my trade. So as we're coming up to our boxes of resistance, are we seeing bear divs on the chart? That's my confirmation to know to take profit on a long position or to even enter a short position. And so for me, it's extra added confluence for the levels that I have marked out as key levels to be watching. And it has tremendously helped my profit margins in trading. It has paid for itself over and over and over again. And I think these tools are so valuable. You know, if you're a plumber and electrician, you invest in the proper tools to make you be successful in your environment. And for me, NAMI is one of those tools. I have partnered with NAMI to get you guys 50% off. So if you do click the affiliate link in the description below and you use Divine50 in the discount promotion box, you can get 50% off NAMI for lifetime. And yeah, so that's about it there, guys. Those are the partners of the channel. Thank you for listening to that. Let's get back to Bitcoin here. Now, guys, we are seeing some 15-minute bull divs on Bitcoin. And if we pull our golden pocket from yesterday's low to the high that we made overnight, we are around that golden pocket 786 zone, right? We did bounce pretty much. You can see we're seeing a lot of wick through the golden pocket. Now, I think we might touch this 786 because we did front run it, and it would be today's low as well. And what we're seeing right now is we're starting to see that exhaustion, you know, inside the channel. You can see this little, just the last, you kind of have your initial drop, chop in here in a triangle, you get your bigger drop, and then we're starting this sideways chop in here, which is that selling exhaustion, and we're going into the weekend. So if we do come to this 786 at 69,331 and SFP earlier today's low into that 786 and the bottom of the channel, it's also near the bottom of your pitchfork band, I might look for a very small scalp long, where we are going to bounce from this area. I would first be looking at just taking out these range highs in here at the highs of the channel. That's already a super good scalp long trade, but then we could leave some of it open to come up to that 0.5 Fibonacci at 71.8. And of course, this wick might be a little bit longer. You know, we just see where that ends, but that could be a really decent scalp long position because our fourth wave might be doing something like this, and we're not done with it yet. So I just don't like how this is not looking in a wave 5. If this was our wave 4 right here, wave 4, and your wave 5, you want to be an impulse to the downside. Right now, this is not looking too impulsive here. So much overlap in here. It does look corrective to me. And we are forming those nice bull divs here on the 15-minute. Bull divs on the 15-minute, money flow crossing into the green on NAMI, bottoming out on Market Cipher. So that is the reason why we might get a little push up, or at least, you know, continue this sideways range. Like I said, between that range over the weekend, between the value area high and the POC. So we might get that range and scalp long opportunity. Obviously, protect position as quick as possible, guys. Take your TP1 at your TP1 targets and look to protect your position, because overall, I am expecting to make new lows below yesterday's low. Okay. Yeah, thank you, R-Pink, so much for posting all that, those links in the chat. I really appreciate that you always do that for me. Sergio Angel, welcome in. Please give me the most bearish scenario because I love cheap prices. I mean, okay, so first off, it is hard to predict macro bearish scenarios where it's going to end. But let me just talk about how we were expecting this dump from the all-time high. We were expecting to come down. We need one more macro low, right? Whether you're looking at a WXY, this is your Y wave, which is not complete yet, and you're expecting to take out 60K, or we're looking at that impulsive structure, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're in your extended fifth wave, and your fifth wave is not done, you still expect this to come down and take out 60K. So coming down to 58, 57K is going to be really important. The most bearish scenario, man, I mean, the most bearish scenario is that this is not a bigger flat, because remember we were talking about this as being a potential flat before coming up to make new all-time highs, and that flat should take, you know, it could take really coming to like, when is that, May, the end of May? But in a very, very bearish scenario, we could be where we're just looking at this is like a wave 1 of a bigger impulse before seeing a retracement, probably up to like 100, 110K, and then a wave 3, you know. Now I think the most bearish scenario, we come down to like $34,000 to $32,000. I mean, that historically has been your most important macro support resistance flip in Bitcoin. Let me just go to the 3-day time frame. So when we look at the last 5-6 years of Bitcoin, support, 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 you know, it was acting as really nice support, resistance, resistance. So that mid to low 30s has been a historical support resistance flip on high time frames. And if we pull our golden pocket Fibonacci, let me just hide this real quick, from the lows of the bear market to our all-time highs, and we turn it on log scale because that is more than a 100% move to the upside, your golden pocket is coming in between 34,500 and 32,250-ish. So that there would be the ultimate level to start selling the house and buying Bitcoin, in my opinion, right? And I'm not a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. That is what I personally would be doing if we did come down there. Well, I'm not selling the house, but you know what I mean. I would be buying up a lot in the low 30s, low to mid 30s. I mean, you can see I have this marked as a potential bear market bottom. The reason why is because our midline has been historically important. Even though this midline was pulled after this structure was made, I pulled it from the 2 all-time highs down to your bear market low. That's where this is pulled from. Trading is based off human psychology. So even though these lows were made before this low was created, you can see that the midline is still respected because trading is based off human psychology, and human psychology follows a pattern. So if we do come down and SFP that low into that midline, that could be a potential nice bear market bottom. Remember what we were talking about with the total market cap. SFPing that same low into the bottom of the pitchfork could give you a nice move to the upside. So if total market cap is coming down and grabbing this liquidity, you would expect that Bitcoin would be coming down and grabbing that liquidity. And seeing that your midline is there could be very, very nice. All right. But yeah, that's I would say 57K and 54K are the next big target. Actually, 58K and 54K are the next big support zones where I will start dollar cost averaging some more on spot, because you never know when the end is going to be in. What I will say is a good thing to look out for the end of the bear market, where we could see a new reversal and a new bull market starting, is when you start to see those weekly bull divs. You can see down here when we're starting to end it, you got those weekly bull divs and the money flow finally started to bottom here. But once you start to see that rise on the weekly, now you can have fake outs like right here. You were seeing that rise in the weekly, but you didn't have bull divs yet, right? So after we confirm weekly bull divs, which is why this drop was so bad, because it invalidated our bull divs. Now on NAMI, you do have slight bull divs in here, but on Market Cipher, you don't, and your money flow just crossed into the red about 5 or 6 weeks ago and is heavily bleeding into the red. So I don't think the bear market is done with. Once you start getting weekly bull divs, that is when you know, even when it's starting to confirm. So if we do something like this and we start to see, you know, coming like in here and you're starting to see those bull divs form, man, I would be looking for some spot buys, because you could see the bull market or the bear market be over. And then, of course, you can look at time, right? 3 years of a bull market, 1 year of a bear market. We got the time, trend-based Fibonacci extinction of this impulse, this impulse here. Impulse finished here. You can turn on your trend-based Fibonacci time, which I just had on there. when you come, a popular time is, of course, that psychological golden phi ratio in late May or coming to the 1-to-1 Fibonacci, which would be March of next year. Man, I mean, that is where I would be looking for some potential bottoms in the bear market around that time frame. Now, of course, it's not going to be exact, and time is not the perfect thing to look at as far as I'd rather say the technical analysis and the lows and the bull divs is better to look at, but that's what I would say. Okay. Chichan, welcome in, man. Of course, thank you for the kind comment, and I appreciate you being here. And Dad87, welcome in, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a good Friday. French Toaster, what's up, man? Welcome in. Divine, can you check BTC 1 minute? Can we get the same scenario like summer of 2022? Or 1 month. I think you mean 1 month. Let's see. 1 month time frame. Summer of 2022. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah. Where we dump hard. Yes, we could still get that scenario. We absolutely could. And remember, we were looking at, let me just go to the weekly time frame. We were looking at in the summer of 2022, you had that corrective move, and then you dumped hard, right? Throughout the summer. Like this was the summer, right? From March all the way through August here. This was the summer of 2022. Severe dumpage to the downside. Remember, there was a lot of fear about inflation and a lot of fear. I mean, COVID, things like that. Kind of COVID was a little bit done by then, but massive fear in the markets, massive, inflation, bearish catalyst macroeconomically, you get the big dump. We had your initial drop followed by a corrective range. You have your initial drop followed by a corrective range. And in this case, it continued straight down, and now we're ranging a little bit more. But after this second range, yes, you could see that really start to nuke, especially with the geopolitical events happening in the world right now. So it is possible, but that's hard to predict, man. Like, it's hard to predict. It's definitely possible because we do see, some bearish signals on the chart as far as the technicals go. But I would say we need a little bit more information locally because we want to start taking out your 60K lows. And after you take out those 60K lows, depending on how we react from our next macro support below us, is going to let us know if this is going to continue aggressively or if we're going to see like a bigger bounce in there. Let's see here. Oh, Bubba9, you shared, and welcome in, Bubba9. He shared his ideas on X and his analysis. Yes, I do need to go check that out here. Yeah. And Ryan Henson, welcome in, my man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, dude. Good name you got there. All right, guys, let's see. I want to go into some of the altcoins really quickly. All right, let's zoom into the 2-hour time frame. Actually, first, really quickly, I want to check on Bitcoin and see in that channel that we're in. Yeah, we are starting to see a lot of choppy overlap with some bull divs on the chart. So, and you guys, I did long Solana well, first of all, I longed around 87.5 in here yesterday. I took profit at $90 because it was our TP. So let me just hide this range. Remember, if you guys watched yesterday's live stream, I was talking about how Solana's 5-wave impulse looks like it could be done. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, hitting right into that pitchfork band at the bottom. And then, we rejected from the top of the pitchfork band. And then we might see a nice retracement up to about $94, that golden pocket and pitchfork midline. So I longed down here because we were seeing confirmation to long the bull divs on the chart. And my first TP was pulling a golden pocket from your wave 4 highs to those wave 5 lows. And looking at that golden pocket was also where your POC was at $90 pretty much, right? So you can see came up into that. And then if you pull that volume profile of this range, now your POC shifted down now, but it was in that zone. Why is that doing that? Let's see here. Maybe I was including this. Well, the POC was up here yesterday. Go watch the video yesterday. I swear it was up there. Maybe I was just taking it from here. All right, well, I swear it was up there yesterday. Look it right here. And so that's why I took profit there. Took out 50% of the long trade, and then now we're coming down, and you can see all of this crappy, choppy overlap in here. This looks like a mess. But you had this low, which we kept front running earlier in the day. We finally came down, SFP'd that low into your golden pocket. Now, I don't like the way this is turning out right now. It does look like, so I added to the long position here. And now my average position is higher, but my stop is still at break even. So if I get stopped out, I still win the trade. But I don't like what we're seeing right now necessarily on this. We are starting to see a triangle developing in here. And to be honest, it doesn't look very nice. Because once again, continuation consolidation pattern, you dump coming into it, you could dump coming out of it. Now, another level I'm looking for on Solana to take a potential scalp long position or day trade long position is the golden pocket. So if we pull a golden pocket from the last low on Sunday, March 8th to our highs that we made on Monday, March 26th, our golden pocket is coming in right around 86.9 to 86.36. And excuse me. And then you can see we have those Saturday lows, weekend lows into that golden pocket. So if we do see another drop here, come down, and also we are starting to form, let me just get rid of this. We are starting to form a descending channel, whether you want to pull it like this in here, or even better would be to pull it from the two lows. Ah, man. Okay, no, I don't like that descending channel too much there. I would pull it from the highs, honestly, and you have... This is where I'd pull it from, and coming down into that bottom of the channel again, you can see there's a lot of wickage underneath the channel here, but it's all wicks, and mostly your candle body closes at the bottom of the channel. So I would see if we could see something like, you know, you're going to lose this midline, lose the pitchfork band, coming down into the bottom of the channel with that SFP of the weekend lows into the golden pocket. I would look for a scalp if and only if we are seeing bull divs between these lows. I would be looking for bull divs on the 1 hour, 2 hour, maybe the 4 hour, but you can see we are setting up kind of nicely for some bull divs between this low, and this low. You would have some potential nice bull divs on the chart. And then NAMI, because it's quicker, we'd be looking for more local bull divs. Yes. Let's see here. I know, right? Our pink, it smells divine under the hood. Heck yeah. Gosh, you guys are too funny. Looks like we're starting to push up. Let's see. Now, on Solana, at that $94 area, I would expect a short, because that is going to be our pitchfork midline in our golden pocket. And we are bouncing from the lower band of the pitchfork. So if we are going to hold this, I would expect a potential move up to that $94 area. Support resistance flip, and it's also your golden pocket in confluence with that midline. And at that area, I will be looking for a short. And the TP on the long position, of course. Actually, I'm going to leave that on there for a second because I want to see. Yep, starting to break this. Okay, cool. Very nice. How's Bitcoin doing? All right, Bitcoin's breaking its kind of channel. Remember, we were seeing the bull divs. I do not like how we're front running that 786. So if we do come up here and reject from the VWAP, we might see that move down. How did I come up with the name Divine Hood? Well, you know, I say that I'm a spiritual person. I don't necessarily say I'm religious, but I'm spiritual. I do believe in a higher power. I do believe that we have souls that live on. I've actually had I had a near-death experience when I was 18 years old from a motorcycle accident. Well, it wasn't directly from the motorcycle accident. The hospital overdosed me. But I really had one of those experiences that showed you that there's more. And so I've always kind of fell in love with the divine since then, or whatever you want to call it, God, the divine, you know, stuff like that. And so the name is kind of like a brotherhood, right? Like I want to create this brotherhood of people that have, you know, feel a sense of community, feel a sense of connection with each other, but also it's kind of focused in the fact that we're all in some ways divine beings or people of, you know, God's creation and stuff like that. So that's where it came from. This woman that I was dating also told me she kind of came up with the name. I don't know. It was really weird, but yeah. So that's it, man. Sounds like an auctioneer. I'm sorry, not quicker. Welcome in, man. You're right. I do get talk fast sometimes. We're breaking out. Awesome. We were seeing the bull divs on the chart. I did not take a new long position on Bitcoin. I compounded my long, or I'm still in the long, but I have not taken compounded at all on Bitcoin, but I did compound on Solana. Yeah, John Burke. Okay, I have looked into some of John Burke's work and stuff, and then Brian Weiss, you know, some of those guys in there, but Michael Newton, Journey of Souls. Michael Newton's Journey of Souls book really impacted me. All right, I'm going to get rid of this channel. Let's see if we reject from this VWAP. Because VWAP has kind of been acting as our resistance if we do come up for that higher time frame backtest. Now, I will say this, guys. Our bands are squeezing together quite nicely. And when they squeeze together, when you're seeing this choppy, overlappy range like this, and they're squeezing, you're expecting a big move soon. It's almost like a Bollinger Band, right? Where they squeeze together, they compress, and then you form a big move coming out of it. So they are starting to squeeze together here. If we can get above the VWAP, we might see a pretty nice push to the upside. What I will say here is you are seeing bullish CVD divergences, not absorption, but divergences, because we do have higher lows on the price action. You do have lower lows on the CVD. So that's a bullish CVD divergence. Now it is on a decrease in open interest. So it is not as strong signal as absorption, but you are seeing some bull divs on Market Cypher B and NAMI, and you are seeing bullish CVD divergences. And that is one of the reasons why at the beginning of the stream, I thought that we might see that move up to 71.8 to sweep this liquidity into the highs of that pitchfork band. So that's what I'm kind of looking at as a potential. Let's see how this VWAP reacts. We are on NAMI potentially confirming 5-minute bear divs, but I think we might get a move up here, guys. Remember, I said this choppy overlap, selling exhaustion. Choppy overlap, selling exhaustion. When you start to see bull divs with the choppy overlap, that is when you can expect a somewhat of a breakout of that channel. I live on the west coast of the United States. I don't want to give out too much more information than that because there's scammers that are always lurking. And trust me, those scammers always are trying to get at me, man. Always. Yes, and the 15-minute Omar does have bullish CVD divergences. The 30-minute had some on NAMI, some very nice bull CVDs, bullish divergences on NAMI, and even kind of slight crappy ones on big Market Cypher, excuse me. Yeah, good. Is it a good time to long silver? We're at key support. Let's see here. Silver. I just want to see very quickly. I want to see how Bitcoin reacts. We'll go into some of the altcoins and silver though as well. I did take a long on oil, guys. I'm long on oil. I'll let you guys see that in just a second. 1 minute here. All right, let's see how this reacts. We don't really have 1 minute bear divs, but we might get the pullback from the VWAP, guys. If we get a pullback from the VWAP, just to finally hit that 786 and grab today's low, into that 786, I would potentially look for a scalp there. If like, not if it happens, you know, late at night and stuff. I don't want to babysit a scalp trade over the weekend. So yeah, doctors did almost kill me, Crypto Clan World. Crazy stuff, man. They literally overdosed me, and like it was scary. I'm not gonna lie, it was scary. But I wrecked myself in a motorcycle accident, and I was, yeah, so. Overcome 70, welcome in, my friend. Quick Mergessa one, welcome in. Is this a good time to buy silver? So let me, all right, I'll check it out real quick, and we'll bounce back and forth between Bitcoin and silver. But daily time frame, I think that the best time to buy silver is going to be at $58. So I covered this in depth with you guys the other day. Silver, I am expecting a long retracement, right? And we were actually expecting this dump. You did break market structure bearishly here, but silver on the higher time frame. So let me go to the weekly time frame. We are in no doubt an impulse to the upside from your 2020 lows, right? At whatever that was, $11, $12. You have your wave one here, your wave two. Clearly, this is a wave three. Now, your wave three came exactly up to your 2-to-1 Fibonacci extinction and to your pitchfork band. By the way, I was telling everyone here during Jason's live stream, as we were hitting it during Jason's live stream, I'm going short on this. It was one of the best short levels you could have ever picked on silver. Well, after we rejected from there, we dumped down pretty aggressively. We did break market structure bearishly on lower time frames, but the dump down was a 3-wave move down. So now if I go on to the daily time frame, and let me just hide some of this stuff in here, or get rid of it. So this move down was a 3-wave move to the downside. You can see here, 3-wave move down. It wasn't an impulse. It was a 3-wave move. So we got to say this is still, you're in a wave 4, right? After you end a wave 3, you're looking for a corrective move in a wave 4 before breaking up to new highs in a wave 5. Now, because this is on a weekly time frame impulse, it could take a few months to break out in a wave 5, right? Actually, it could take a couple years, because your wave 2 retracement, this wave 2 retracement was about 750 days, right? So your wave 4 can be as long or longer than your wave 2. But there is something called the rule of alternation in Elliott waves, where you do expect your wave 4 sometimes can be short. If your wave 2 is super long, your wave 4 can be shorter. But you would expect this at least to take, 6 months or so, right? 6 months or so. So we got our initial dump down in a W. Then I was looking for, by the way, I shorted this as well. I told all of you guys ahead of time about this area. If we got a 3-wave corrective move up to it, to a lower high golden pocket, first off, you broke market structure bearishly by taking out these lows. You broke daily market structure bearishly. So after breaking market structure bearishly, you're looking for a lower high before putting in a lower low, right? Seeing that 3-wave corrective move on high time frames. Because this started with a 3-wave move, it's a W. Now we're looking for a 3-wave corrective move in an X, and usually it comes up to your golden pocket. Your golden pocket happened to be where the backtest of the pitchfork was, where we lost the pitchfork after rejecting from that lower band. And then we were looking for this 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target. So if you go from here to here to here, your 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction target was right inside that golden pocket. Perfect short zone here, guys. This was like the most incredible, easy short there was. And so hit the short. And then now we're looking for a Y wave where you're looking for a 3-wave corrective move down, right? Now, you could end after taking out these lows. It could end. And then you could see all of this WXY being part of a much larger corrective move that could take some time. $58 has so much gosh dang support. And if we pull a trend-based Fibonacci extinction and we look at, okay, I guess I already had it pulled here. Your 618 is your minimum target for that extinction, okay? So you can see the 618 is right at the lows pretty much. So if you take out those lows, you would be hitting your minimum target for this WXY, taking out that low into your 618, and then you could see a nice push up. So I will be watching for the SFP of this low for a long position. But the better long position, in my opinion, the better spot buy position, and this is not financial advice. I do not give financial advice. This is my plan, what I plan to do with silver. I bought a lot of silver at 18. I bought a lot of silver at 21. And I sold some silver when we came up to this area. Actually, it was like 112. It wasn't 117. I wanted to front run it a little bit. But for silver, if we do come down to the $58 mark, what is at $58? So first off, your wave 4 retracement. Your wave 4 retracement is pulled from the lows of wave 3. Sorry, the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3. If you pull that Fibonacci retracement, and you do have to put it on log scale because this was more than a 100% move to the upside, you put that on log scale, your targets are between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. Well, at the 382 Fibonacci at $58, what do we have there? We have a daily order block there, a very nice daily order block right in there. It's also a daily level, right? We have a naked monthly point of control. Naked monthly point of control in there. We have a naked weekly point of control in that zone as well. Naked weekly point of control in that zone as well. It is such a nice support level. 382, 2 high time frame volume POCs, a daily level, a daily order block. I mean, that level to me, I already have limit orders waiting at $58 for a buy. And if that is going to be the end of our corrective move, where we see this corrective move come down here and bounce, you are expecting to take out your all-time highs. Now, it's going to take time to do that. It's not going to happen immediately, right? But that is what I'm looking for on silver. Now, on silver locally, this dump looks to be pretty aggressive here. And it does look like in a 3-wave corrective move, here, you can dump to the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction in an expanded move there, expanded corrective move. So if we look at that, 1.618 coming down, it's going to be right around the 618 of the bigger drop, and it's going to be right around that low. So taking out that low, the SFP of this low at $64 into your 63.8, I will be looking for a long there. Actually, let's set an alert now. So here, SFP long, boom, create. There we go. So I'm looking for silver to take out that long. If we do, we could also be looking at a much larger corrective move that takes time, right? Because we do need a bit more time to pass for our wave 5 to come up to new all-time highs. But that's what I'm looking at on silver. So I hope that helps a little bit. Also, look at the bear. We saw some pretty aggressive bear divs. I think it was like on the 3-day time frame. No, we saw bear divs, though, coming up to that golden pocket here. You saw the bear divs on the chart. Higher highs, lower highs, lower highs. Guys, this short was the easiest short in the world there. I mean, super, super nice short. Now, I will say I got out of that short way too early. When we started bouncing here, I got out of the short because it was a golden pocket from here to here. And I thought that we were going to see something like some sort of double top flat for the wave Y. So I'm not in the short in silver anymore. So next long, looking at that $63, $64 area. So is it a good time to long silver? I say no, not yet. I wouldn't even attempt to long until we take out that low, personally. Kodak 4737, what's up, man? I think we are going to dump hard. I'm scared even. 10-year yield rose from 4.27 to 4.38 just today. Yes, man. First of all, they're talking about doing rate hikes again, guys. Now it is being priced in that we might have 2 rate hikes by October. And inflation is stickier than it's supposed to. We have geopolitical, macroeconomic turmoil, geopolitical war, macroeconomic turmoil. I mean, everything is setting up for that big kind of crash, that recession type crash, right? So I really do think we could be in some trouble. Yeah, also a Wyckoff. Okay, yes. I think you're talking on silver, maybe? No, not really on silver. There's no Wyckoff up here. Pope candle. Yeah, the Pope. Oh, that was the Pope candle. Okay. Meanwhile, the Nigerian prince, which I am reaching out to you from email and would like to send you 1,000 BT, right? Yes, much HK. Some of the scammers are so wild. Or like, this is Elon Musk, and if you deposit $2 into my thing, you can get $4 and a free 4 Bitcoin and a free Tesla back. Just do this. It's like some people fall for the stupidest crap, man. What exchange do you use to trade oil? I use Blowfin. Well, Blowfin and MEXC. MEXC has it under US oil, and Blowfin it's CLUSDT. Let me just show you guys. Well, wait. First, I want to check Bitcoin. Is it rejecting from that VWAP? Not really, guys. We might see a move up here. It's starting. It's really trying to break out of this VWAP here. I think we could. We had some bull divs coming in here. So if that's going to happen, we can look at, first off, I would look at probably your 786 in here, because your 786 would sweep this liquidity trail. But let's look at, do we have a naked point of control in here from yesterday? No, we don't. Okay. Look at this naked daily point of control from yesterday is at the 786. Man. Let me see if it's on the hourly there. Yeah, so right at that 786. Man, it would have been such a nicer long if we would have came down to hit that naked daily at that 786. But now we could be looking at, guys, a move, a corrective move that's still in progress, where we could come up to that 71.8. But U.S. oil, I use CLUSDT, and I use, well, CLUSDT is the ticker on Blowfin. Sorry, I had a brain fart there on Blowfin. But yeah, guys, I longed the back test of the value area low right here. We broke back inside of it. We back tested it. So I longed that, but I did take some profit at the value area high in the top of the channel right here. What I'm seeing here for oil is we did front run this golden pocket. And so I would like to see, even if it's a double top where we kind of are creating this kind of bull flag thing, and even if we double top into that golden pocket, my first TP is going to be the highs of the channel into the golden pocket at 103.15. I actually have a limit TP set already at 103.15. And then I would look for a potential move down from there, or this is going to continue straight up through it, and we might see some sort of double top in here. First off, you can just play the range, right? You can play the range. There's a couple different ranges that I'm looking at here on oil. I'm looking at, and I think oil is going to continue to go up, though, because of what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz, and macroeconomically, they're starting to, Qatar's oil reserves just got destroyed, or their refinery stuff just got destroyed. So I'm looking at, and we have to watch for this high as well at 100.5. If we do SFP that high, it wouldn't be the nicest thing, but that would be kind of the fake out, right? Your fake out of your channel into the value area high, grabbing that liquidity. And if you fall back in, you might You might dump. But I think oil is going to continue spiking here. Now I'll be looking for shorts too, because after like oil, this happens so much with oil during war and during times of chaos. Oil spikes like crazy and then it dumps. So if you can catch those short positions on oil, man, they can pay out handsomely and quickly, because the oil industry likes to keep oil between like $70 and $90 a barrel. Actually, like $70 and $80 a barrel. That's kind of their sweet spot, where supply and demand is good and gas prices are good to where the public's not getting too frustrated. Do you still take Shilajit? Yes, I do. I still do take Shilajit, Kodak. I researched it a bit. Basically, humic and fulvic acid, yep, is it classically Sheeler basic Shelator. Take trace minerals, humic and fulvic. Yes, humic and fulvic acid are really good for the body, and just those. The reason why I take Shilajit is because it's in its bioavailable form. It's plant material that's been compressed, but we've been absorbing those materials with plants for hundreds of thousands of years, so our body's used to absorbing it in those ratios. And so for me, it's really good, right? It just works well for me personally. Yeah, motorcycles are fun, but you have to worry about people to share the road with. Yes, you do, R-Pink. I don't ride anymore. Let's just say that. Like, first of all, it was actually a dirt bike I was on. I used to do some motocross stuff. So, but I also used to ride a little bit on the streets as well. Unless you're Nikki Hayden, you can move a motorcycle around. Most people can't handle one. Like, yeah, guys, it's just dangerous. People on the road don't see you. What was the next expected high for BTC in the next move? Like, are you David Parker? Are you talking lower time frame or higher time frame? Over the weekend and over the next couple of days, we could come up to 71.8. Because remember, that's your 0.5 Fibonacci. So if we're looking at those wave 4 retracement levels between the 382, which is where we rejected yesterday, right? 382 value area high was our box yesterday. But the 0.5 Fibonacci is at your pitchfork band. And it would also sweep pretty much all of this liquidity from this liquidity trail we were creating yesterday. So I think the zone, it's kind of a zone because you have the SFP above it. The next zone for me would kind of be this zone here, right? Because then you could see that bigger 3-wave corrective move up to that zone, grabbing that liquidity. And then then we could see that 5-wave move. Actually, it would probably, hopefully not come that low on the 5th wave. But you might see something like this coming down to like 68.3. I think at the naked weekly point of control was hit on Coinbase, but I don't think it was hit on Bybit. Let me see here. So we hit the naked weekly. Go to Bybit here. I thought there was. No, I guess not. But your Bybit POC is at 68. So we might come down to that Bybit POC. We're struggling here at the VWAP. We really are struggling here at the VWAP. Let's see. Are we creating? Yeah, 5-minute bear divs confirmed here. 1-minute bear divs, but it's not losing market structure yet. You're starting to see this. I think it wants to keep pushing up just based off local. 15-minute, you were seeing the bull divs at the bottom. Money flow looks pretty good. You don't have bear divs on NAMI. So you have some 5-minute bear divs. Honestly, what I would like, even if we were going to continue to range over the weekend, I would like to see a rejection from here to come down and hit that naked daily POC into that 786. And then maybe make that move up. Guys, Ethereum. Ethereum is starting to see a lot of choppy overlap in here. You can see, actually, I'll just throw the channel on there. A lot of choppy overlap in this range here. And you could even pull this down to this low here. But you see all this choppy overlap. If we do reject here at the VWAP in the top of the channel, we might see that drop to actually hit our support level. The support level I'm talking about is grabbing those weekend lows into your golden pocket and your naked daily point of control. And I would have liked to, I was saying that yesterday, I would have liked to see a drop a little bit farther. It's not your goal, it's your pitchfork midline. So you can see that as I have an alert set here. Pitchfork midline was there. It would be grabbing that Saturday low. Now this is a Sunday low, or this is a Saturday low, this is a Sunday low. But to see one more low, if this continues to chop really crappy like this, down into this area, because we have that naked daily point of control down there as well. It's a little bit lower. It's at 74, 2074-ish. So that's kind of the zone that I'm watching for. The SFP into the pitchfork midline and that naked daily point of control. And this is really starting to get choppy and overlappy in here. So you have your big initial drop, and then you start to get that selling exhaustion that comes in. If we do get that down there and we see bull divs, so if we see bull divs between, oh, dang it, why'd I do that? There we go. If we see bull divs between this, like say we just continue to kind of chop in here like this, bull divs between these two lows, and then you want to see low time frame bull divs between all of this. And it's setting up pretty nicely, actually. You can see, first of all, there was bull divs here, which gave us this little move up. But now if we create another drive of bull divs, you know, something like this, and then there, and then there. And Nami, of course, is setting up very nicely on some bull divs as well. You can see all these drives of bull div, money flow bull div in here. Solana, yep, Solana's breaking out of that. But we are starting to reject from the VWAP. Dang it. I did compound right in here early this morning. My original short, or long, excuse me, 87.5. And then I compounded it here. I let you guys know that in the Telegram. If we start to really reject the VWAP, yeah, all right, guys. That's what I was worried about, rejecting the VWAP pretty aggressively here. So because we're rejecting the VWAP, I want to see that 786 tapped. Let's see if we can't get that. We had some 5-minute bear divs. Man, it's probably a little bit too late to short this. Yeah, it's a little bit too late to short this right now. But we could have looked for a scalp from there. Like if you would have... Dang it, I was not paying attention here. Nice little scalp. I just want to make sure that my Solana all right. Let's see. Vic Surfer 618, welcome in, man. I love gold and silver and oil. Next one is coal. Can you check coal? Is it just coal? I guess here, huh? Coal index. Is this it? let me know the ticker symbol that you want me to look at for that, and I will give that a check. But I don't like this chart at all. From Costa Rica. Well, welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. We need to get rid of Powell. Yeah, he's going to be out soon, I think. I think he is. Wyckoff on the 15-minute on BTC. Oh, accumulation pattern. Let's see here. Are you talking about just in here? Did you see Trump lifting sanctions on Iran's oil? No, I didn't. Thank you so much for that, Brenta. And thank you for the super chat. Much love to you. Appreciate that so much. I didn't see that. Was that today or? Interesting. So I'm protected on that oil position already. So if oil doesn't keep pushing up, I'm protected. And remember, oil is at the top of the channel in the value area high. So it could absolutely reject and start to drop from here. You are seeing some pretty significant bear divs on oil. 5-minute bear divs here. Money flow coming out, bear divs, money flow coming out. But I just think, let's go to the 15-minute. Do we see 15-minute? Yeah, you do see some 15-minute bear divs as well. Actually, it looks like it's trying to form some sort of triangle in here. Let's see if we get a rejection from like this zone up here. I would also be looking at this high. I'm going to set an alert here because if we start to reject an SFP this, I'll probably pull out some more on the long position. So only once. Strong oil, strong DXY pushes the dollar higher. Yes, Kodak, I do think you're right there. And we do see strong oil right now just because of all the chaos. Trace Minerals Research. It is U.S. product on Amazon. Blue bottle, U.S. made for She Legit. Okay, cool, man. Thank you for that, Kodak. I'm going to check that out. Trace Minerals brand. I know that brand, and they do have humic and fulvic acid. Thank you so much for that. I know that the She Legit that I use is third-party tested, and they send the test results with it to make sure there's no heavy metals in it. And I've had really good success with it. But I'm going to check that out. So thank you for that. Oh, and they remove glycophosphate from the body too. Okay, cool, dude. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Kodak. Odyssey 1, welcome in. Yes, we can look at Tau. Time Attack, much love, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding. Golden Liquidations, much love to you. Thank you for being here as well. Let's see. We're going to do Tau just really quickly here. I believe I use Coinbase. So you said you're short from 296. Oh, nice, dude. Very nice. We are bouncing from this golden pocket. So just, actually that was a bearish golden pocket. You broke above it and you're back testing. So that's actually a bullish thing. But you already made new highs after back testing that. But let's look at, actually, this looks good. Tau is on the daily time frame. We're kind of in this bottom accumulation range, right? And remember, we were looking at, gosh, is there a better one? USDT. Okay, there we go. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be old, so we're going to have to delete a lot of this TA. We are coming up and hitting this daily level, but it's been tapped now, so we hit it the first time. Let's get rid of all this low time frame chop and all of this. Let me see if that's, it looks like we're impulsing, right? Now October 10th low was barely front ran. Coinbase doesn't have that. And on Coinbase, it does look like it could be a accumulation pattern forming. But you have a couple things here. You have your bigger range that is this sideways range that goes back to July of 2024, you're back inside of the value area low. You're back inside the volume profile, and you can see that's where all these levels were. So you bounced, you lost it, you now are back inside of it. You're at your POC right now, so you're kind of at resistance, and you did grab the liquidity from that high. So it could be done with, but I would be careful of an impulse here. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, then you could be seeing a 4 and a 5. Let's check out, where's it at? You pretty much came up to your 1.618. You didn't quite, but you did SFP this high. So yeah, I would definitely look for a short from the SFP of that high. And now you're having trouble breaking out of this POC here. That is a good sign that you're having trouble breaking out of that POC. Another range I would look at, so let's hide this bigger range, and I would be looking at just this kind of sideways price action. Oh man, actually, the bigger range is the more acceptable range to be looking at. But you could pull this as well. POC is pretty much at the same spot anyways, but your value area low is where you're kind of trying to hold. And it's also your pitchfork band. So depending on if you can hold this, I could see this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you could make one more high and a 5, and you could sweep out all of this. I'm not sure if that was swept. Let's see. No, you didn't sweep all of that. So you do have some lower highs in here that could get swept. All those 3 lower highs are just above you. You could come in there and sweep those. Your daily time frame just crossing into the green on Market Cipher, and NAMI looks, it's pushing up again on the daily. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad here. What I would be looking at is your small range, right? On the hourly chart, you have this small upper range in here. And then we have to look at, you do have some 1-2s in here. So you can see you have like some 1-2s, 1-2s. This is your big third wave here. So this could be your first 4, your first 5, and then you're looking for another 4 and then another 5. And that would come up to that 1.618 and possibly sweep this liquidity. But because you have these 1-2s to start your third wave, you're now looking for some 4-5s up here. So I would be, if you're short on this, I would be cautious of coming down to your golden pocket 786 zone for a TP. Yeah, which you're starting to break the golden pocket and the value area low, but that 786 and the pitchfork right there. Let's see if we have a naked daily there as well. It's a bit lower. And honestly, I even like this naked daily down here. This is probably going to be a naked weekly as well. No, it's not. The other possibility here is that you could be looking at a flat in here. So, because this does look kind of corrective, not impulsive. So you could be looking at an A, B flat, and then you're looking at a C now to come down and grab these lows, probably into this support level for a flat correction, and then you come up in a 5. So yeah, I would be watching, because that's the bottom of the band as well. I would be watching that 235 area. And then if you could sweep 323, that would be nice. You did have some bear divs on the 4 hour here. So yeah, nice bear divs. I think that if the golden pocket doesn't hold right now, it is likely you're probably going to come down and sweep those lows into 235. I think a flat looks better here than, you know, it's tough though because you have some 1-2s in here. So 3s, you could see 4-5, 4-5. But overall, I would say it's not looking too bad. You do have bull divs on NAMI crossing into the green on money flow, and Market Cypher's bottomed out and is pushing up on money flow. But I would be, once again, paying attention to that bigger range. This range right here. You're at the POC, and that is a pretty aggressive spot. It's also your anchored VWAP from that last major high. So it is definitely major resistance right now. Let's pull our golden pocket. And we make sure that's on log scale. Yeah. Oh, man, to come up and sweep that 323 right into that golden pocket would be so nice. So if you can get now, even if you come down to 235, grab that low. Actually, we can set an alert here for a possible long. Let's just leave that there. Coming up to 324 is where your macro log golden pocket is. I think that would be pretty nice to see. But I would expect locally this short that you're in to play out a little bit more because you're breaking your very, very local golden pocket. This local golden pocket right here, you're starting to break it, and it's also your value area low of that local range. So you're breaking it right now. Yeah. Nice little short there. Nice little short. Shoot, I'm kind of behind. This 6-month red dot got me thinking for a long time now if we've completed a macro wave 1 with extended wave 3, and now we can see a macro wave 2 for some time. Let's see what you're talking about there. Okay, let's go to the index chart. I don't even know if I have the 6-month. 6-month. What just happened here? Honestly, I'm not too sure. Okay, for a long time now. So you're saying that extended wave 3. Oh, you're saying all of this is a wave 1, and then we're going to get an extended wave 2 before? Huh. You'll have to probably show me a picture of what you're talking about there. Check sugar. Is sugar even a... You have to let me know the ticker on that. Yeah, I just covered Tau. I just covered it here. Well, all the buffer we had for oil was on the seas. Now is gone. Yeah, no joke, huh? Health is wealth for sure, Kodak. Thank you so much for that suggestion or that. Yeah. I picked up on a resin. The only thing I don't like is how, yeah, the resin. I just generally do a ball, excuse me, like a pea-sized ball of the resin. But I have found the resin works the best. Not like the dried powder or the gummies. There's a couple good gummies out there, but and Trump himself has a lot of reason to want Iran to be pro-U.S. Yes, he does. Peter, welcome in. Cole is in CF1. Okay. In CF1. Wait, was that in CF1 exclamation? Is this the right chart that you want me to look at, Peter? It's spiking, that's for sure. I mean, like, just look. Slow corrective overlap starting in here. You're starting to break out of it. So I would look at sweeping that high at 169 at least. And this is tough because this looks like a push down in an A wave. You got a running flat and a B and then a small ass C here or something like that. $4,500 gold. I do want to check gold here. Yeah, man, gold is dumping, boys. Gold was a pretty another. I wanted it to come down to like $42,000 to $4,000. The same thing with gold, guys, as we were looking at was the first off, you came up to your upper pitchfork band, you rejected, but this move down, it looked like a three-wave move down. It's hard. It's pretty much straight down though, so it's hard. But bottom line is we broke market structure bearishly on gold. So now you're looking for a lower high before creating another lower low. And for me on gold, this also looked like in some ways a contracting diagonal that was in here. Rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. You did come up past the 786 though. Did we hit the 886 on that? No, let's go to but you know what this looks like to me right here? 1, 2, you're in your big third wave right now. And then you might see a 4 and a 5, but I would be looking at taking out that low for sure. You could get a very nice wave 4 corrective move from that low though, like an SFP. If you SFP this low here at 4,400, it could be the end of your wave 3. Where is our 2-to-1 extinction? And then let's put on our 2.618. Maybe that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to get that 5 to take out that low. And we might be looking at a bigger kind of flat scenario in here, but it would be a running flat. But the big thing is if gold does come down to your pitchfork midline around 4,241 to 4,000, I would really like that for a possible long. You already bounced from your golden pocket though, from this low to this high. That's where we bounced, is at the golden pocket. And then you made a lower high. So now we could be looking at coming down. And actually, let me make sure this is not the right one we want to use anymore. We want to use this guy here. Yeah, okay. Very nice. Very nice there. So first and foremost, the SFP of the low. Of course, that would be great. But if we're looking at also this zone in here would be the next kind of big zone. Your 786 and your 1-to-1, and you have this liquidity in there. And then next up after that would be this box and this guy. This guy right here. How lovely would it be that you have a morning podcast of 5 to 10 minutes of the daily analysis of Bitcoin? The problem with that, Fruit Miss, is I can't go for 5 to 10 minutes. Man, I tried my hardest to create a 1 minute short a few months ago or 2 months ago on Sui. There's so much information to get by. And that's why it was sometimes like when people ask me about an altcoin, it's hard because I want to mark out I want to give you guys proper analysis on it, but sometimes that analysis just to even mark out the levels and even start looking takes, 30 minutes or so. So, yeah, it's hard, man. I think gold will end up around 4,200. Yep, that would be really awesome, dude. So, Machi HK, right around that pitchfork midline, 41.25, 40, but look at 4,200, it's that 786, it's that liquidity grab, and it's that 1-to-1 target. So I agree with you, man. That would be really nice to see. Gold did have some, no, it didn't have bear divs either, right? That's right. Now, if gold comes back down to like this, the bottom of this band, 3,000 to 3,300, I would love that. I would buy some. The big thing with gold is, I mean, obviously this is clearly impulsive here, but if we're looking at from this low at $1,000, you have your wave 1, you have your flat in a wave 2, 3, corrective move in a 4. Is this all the extended 5th and it's all the way done? And now are we going to come all the way back down? First off, there is a problem with that. The start here doesn't look very impulsive. It looks like a 3-wave move. But look at, even just coming down to 41, 4,200 would be a nice little retracement after all of this huge parabola here. I wouldn't even be surprised if we retrace to the bottom of the pitchfork. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we retrace down there. Let's pull that fib. Yeah, I mean, and then let's make sure it's on log scale. Yeah, it is. So even 2,600, 25, 2,600, grabbing that low into this. I just want to check. Your non-log golden pocket is an improper retracement because you can see that from here to here is not 61.8%. From here to here is longer. So it's not a proper 61.8% retrace, but a lot of people don't know how to use a log golden pocket. If we did come down there at like 3,000, that would be another interesting area. I can't even get a ball of it. I just grab a bit on the corner of the spoon. Yeah, that's about me too. Not quicker. I mean, I personally don't measure it like super, the She Legit I'm talking about. I don't measure it super intensely, I just grab a little ball of it and a little bit on the spoon. And then, you know what, I got so used to it. And, or if I'm in a rush, I literally just put it in my mouth, and it's very earthy and bitter. But I actually have kind of grown to like the flavor of it, which is crazy to say. Man, gold is dumping here. You got, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2. You break 3, 4, 5. So do we need another 4 and a 5 in here? What's Bitcoin up to? I would like to grab that low. Let me set an alert on that low. Man, it's just a lot of chop. A lot of chop in here. I personally would like it if we did come down and grab that 786. But you can see this kind of even, this is bot trading, guys. A lot of bot trading. Look at this little channel that's forming here. So you even have this higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. You're bouncing. This to me, let's see if volume is decreasing on this. Where am I at? It's more flat with a spike at the highs, and the spike at the highs can mean that's the end of the corrective move. But it's too much chop. I'm not trading. I wouldn't trade this personally. But if we do take out that low from earlier today into the 786, because we have a naked daily there, only because we have a naked daily there. So at 69, 330-ish, I would look for a potential long on this thing. Scalp long. I'm probably on the spectrum a bit. It bothers me when I can't be perfect. I stirred it into a shot of espresso. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I used to put it into my coffee too. That's cool. And yeah, the taste, it's bad, but the health benefits are worth it. So, hi Ryan, can Tau retrace to the GP bearish retrace? Okay, can Tau retrace to the golden pocket bearish retrace to continue to dump lower? Let's see here. And are you talking about like on lower time frames or higher time frames? So, oh, okay, retrace to the bearish golden pocket. I would say can it? Yes. Let's go to our hourly chart. Remember, you're at that value area low in golden pocket. So if we pull this range, this sideways range is what we want to focus on right now. You're at your golden pocket of the bullish retrace, right? So you're bouncing from golden pocket and value area low. So yes, this is a support zone. If this does hold, I would expect, actually, I probably would expect that your 4-5s, right? So, and look at your bearish retrace is at the value area high. So yes, it absolutely could, because if you hold value area low, you're at least likely to come up to value area high. But what I would be looking for, remember we had a couple scenarios here. We had the bigger flat, A, B flat, and a continuation in a C to come down to 235-ish. That would be a flat scenario. But in the other scenario, you have your 1-2s in here. 1, 2, 1, 2, big third wave. So this would be a 4, 5. And the bounce here at the golden pocket value area low would make sense for another 4 to get another 5 to come up to the golden pocket at 324. So the two scenarios is taking out the low and continuing higher, or bouncing from here and continuing higher. Now your money flow doesn't look the best here. You're just crossing into the red on NAMI. You're pretty heavily in the red on Market Cipher. If you do start to close this hourly candle above the value area low, then I would start looking, saying, hey, maybe this is going to get a move up. So if you were short from 296, and this is not financial advice, I do not give financial advice. If I was short from 296, I would have taken a TP here, or you're still there. I would be taking a TP here, at least 25%, maybe 50% here. This is starting to look a little bit choppy in here. right? A little bit choppy in here. Not the best, not, I mean, you would like to see a bit more overlap, to be honest, but. And then, yeah, your retracement at 293, value area high, golden pocket at 293. So let me make sure this is not on log scale. Okay, yeah, perfect. Golden pocket 293 right there, value area high there. Now, if this is the end of the move, right, you have a 3-wave move down with an extended C wave. You would expect to come take out the highs if this is the end. The other scenario, right, in a ABC, A, B, C, and now this, there's a little bit of a problem with that. First off, this looks corrective, and this looks somewhat impulsive. I have to be honest, the way this is looking, it is more likely that this is your secondary 4 before making another 5. I definitely would be looking to TP some here. Now, I wouldn't long this based off the money flow. Based off the money flow and the lack of bull divs, I would not long this here. But I would at least consider TP and move my stop to break even. And then the next long I would look for, I have an alert set 235. Okay. Kind of bullish absorption on Solana. Let me see. I want to check Solana. How is Solana looking? I am long still on Solana. Yeah. Okay, look at this. We're bouncing from the pitchfork band after rejecting the VWAP. We came down. We bounced from that little pitchfork band. I do think Solana could continue higher. And the reason why is look at all of this crappy, choppy overlap in here. I mean, this to me is corrective. All of this looks like a corrective range with so much chop and so much overlap. Honestly, a lot of bot trading, a lot of micro scalp bot trading. But if we're looking at that small range in here, yeah, you're at the POC and we did reject from the value area high, but the bigger range to be watching is all this price action within this descending channel. And coming up to grab this high, which was our rejection yesterday, by the way. And I did take a profit at $90 yesterday from the low from right in here. And I compounded it this morning here. Looking for a potential move up to $93.5 to $94. Absolutely, Serious Crypto. Absolute Circus Crypto. Wait, yeah, Circus Crypto. Around Town, a nice green friendly channel. Well, welcome in Around Town. Thank you so much for being here, man. Let's see here on Bitcoin. Yeah, guys, so going into the weekend, we are likely to range because, I mean, yes, the geopolitical events of the weekends have been causing some volatility, and that still could be a possibility. But overall, if to recap on Bitcoin, I am looking, we did reject yesterday at the bearish backtest of the value area high. And that was also our wave 4 target between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. 0.5 Fibonacci at the top of the pitchfork band. So could this be the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking for a new low on a 5? Yes, that is actually quite a big possibility. But there is still that scenario where the wave 4 is not put in, where we're going to see this and coming up to grab, 71.8 to about 72,000, this next box of resistance. So I would be looking for potential shorts at 72 if we have bear divs between this high and this high. I would want to see 1 hour, 2 hour, and like 15, 20 minute low time frame bear divs on this move up between the highs of this move up. And I would want to see 1 and 2 hour bear divs between these two highs. And if we get that, I'll short, and if I do short it, I'll let you guys know in the Telegram. Actually, let me set an alert here. So if you guys are interested in knowing what I'm going to be doing over the weekend, I don't post too much over the weekend, but if I do see something like last weekend, I gave you guys a couple suggestions over the weekend. So just join the Telegram. Remember, it's free. All you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. That is your money. You're not paying it to me. You're not paying it to BYDFI. You're just depositing it on the exchange and hope that you'll try out the exchange and like the great fees, like the order book, like the good UI, and start trading that as your primary exchange. So, and then once you do that, you can get into the Telegram. All you have to do is click the Telegram link in the description. And once you're in that Telegram link, you type in /verify and your BYDFI user ID, and then you'll be in. But for the weekend, looking for the next low we make, if we do come straight down like this, and you know, remember around 68K was the Bybit POC, and we have some, those are Monday's lows. Yeah, I mean, we did sweep the weekend lows. Where were those? Oh, they were right up here. We did sweep those weekend lows already, but I would be just the next low, and we can actually pull a target for that low, a wave 5 target. So let's do this. Let me, internally, if we're going to range between the POC and the value area high, that 786 has a naked daily point of control there. So if we SFP that naked, that low from earlier today into that 786, and we see local bull divs, I will look for long there because it is a internal level to look for a scalp, right? Just a small scalp from that 786 and that naked daily. That was from yesterday's point of control. Man, it's pretty much exactly on that 786. Now, if we make new highs before hitting that 786, I'm no longer interested too much. I just want to check, did Bybit have that naked daily still, or did it hit on Bybit? So Bybit's is what much higher. Coinbase is lower though, and it is where this anchored VWAP is. But okay, let's measure. I got a little bit distracted. Let's measure our wave 5 target. So if this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for the 5th wave to end, where we could look for a corrective long to come up to golden pocket area, we can measure our 5th wave by going from the lows of 4 to the highs of 4, and we're going to put on our wave 5 targets, which is between the 1.236 and the 1.618. So I think that 68.1 to about 68K is where the Bybit POC is. I would be looking around 68.150 to 68K. You do have this little 1 hour order block in here. The top of the order block is right around 68K. So, yeah. Do you ever look at MMFI and see what stocks are trading above their 50-day? I don't, Time Attack, but that MMFI, I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest with you. Percent of stocks above 50-day moving average. Okay. Only D and oh, daily. Okay. Let's go to the daily. So we have 22.5% of stocks above their 50-day moving average. Oh, that's not good. This is interesting to me, though. Very interesting chart. And that 50-day moving average is kind of a measure of how bullish the market is overall. Thank you for letting me know about this, Time Attack. That's a interesting thing to be looking at. I mean, it's really hard to do any sort of TA on this chart. I'm not, yeah, now add SPY. Shoot. How, like, are you talking about like split screening it or? Let me see. Oops. And you would overlay that on top. Yeah, I'm not sure. Time attack. I don't know how to do that. Let's just be honest. I don't know how to do that. Oh, plus sign. Okay. So MMFI plus, where's my freaking plus sign? Plus SPY. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Time Attack. Time Attack's gonna send it to me in the Telegram. Let me see here. I'll just wait for that for a bit and then anyways, guys, so over the weekend, watch for a new low. The next new low that's made, we could get a decent retracement from that. So I would be potentially interested in that long position. Okay, here we go. Oop. I see. So let me save this. Okay. All right, so that is that MFI index here, looks like. Now, here's the thing. I'm interested to know how you would use that as confluence. So obviously when you're topping out on those 50-day stocks, you're topping out in the market as well. When you start to bottom out on this, then that means you can start to look for longs here, I guess. Yeah, Time Attack, that's interesting. And you said you use it with Bitcoin as well. So, yeah, you're gonna have to let me know how you use that to find that confluence. But it looks interesting, dude. Awesome. I mean, there's so much to look at. The money, global money supply. Let's see here. Oops. M2 global liquidity. I mean, this is also pretty good to look at when that liquidity is dumping. Bitcoin tends to dump too. You got that 10-week lead, of course. So very interesting here. These all can help predict the price, guys, but I honestly think the best thing to look at is, like, as traders, is the actual TA, right? Like, look at the zones of confluence. Look at if your oscillators have the bear dibs on them and everything like that, and then you can kind of get an idea of the general direction. And I think that's where Elliott waves shine as well. Elliott waves can give you a big bias. All right, but anyways, guys, it looks like it's slow crap chop here. I do have a few things to do. Got to go get the kiddo too, so I will let you guys know in the Telegram if I decide to take any positions. Let's see, what would be the take profit for the Bitcoin long from 69,336? Well, okay. If you do come down and double bottom and you get a long from that position, I would even be looking at a take profit, because you could be looking at this as a wave 1, and then you're going to get a flat in here for a wave 2 before seeing a wave 3, 4, 5, to finish that. So my first TP, this would be a very small scalp long position, right? And I would look for the long. Stop would go below wherever that wick is, and I would try to get in as tight as I could. My TP1 would be that high. And that still could be a really good risk to reward ratio, right? Something like that. And I would TP 50% of it. Then I would leave some open just in case you do come hit. You would have to re-pull your golden pocket, of course. But like, say you came down here, I would look at the golden pocket as a TP2. And then I would leave some open just in case we get up to 71.8. But look at, if this is, and I know there's, God, like one. No, that, oops. Thing is, this doesn't look impulsive to me. This looks like so much choppy, crappy overlap in here. But yeah, so you really couldn't count this as a 1, and then this would be a flat and a 2. I wouldn't like that. If you do get that long, just look at liquidity, local liquidity. Today, this high would be at least, I probably would take out 25% if we drop from here. I would probably take out 25% at that high, but I would be looking at like this liquidity trail, right? So if you start to come up into your golden pocket and peak a little bit above it and grab that liquidity and start to drop, that's when you could take another profit. And then I would leave some open to take out this high, but really coming up into this box, 71.8 to 72K. Another thing you could also look at actually as well is volume profile. Pull your volume profile of this corrective choppy range. So I would probably go from where it starts kind of chopping sideways. Yeah. And definitely I would be looking. I guess this is kind of a really crappy range here. Let's go pull it from the bottom. Around your golden pocket for sure, I would be looking, because you would get your new golden pocket, and then you can see you have some liquidity up in there. You have also a volume node up there. It's not the best. I mean, this range is kind of a little bit subjective where you pull it. But that's kind of what I would be doing with that. It would be a scalp for sure. Lock in profits as soon as possible. But guys, I do got to get going. Thank you so much for joining. Please hit the like button if you got any sort of insight into the live stream today. Appreciate all you guys so much. Appreciate your support. You guys all mean the world to me, and I will keep you updated in the Telegram over the weekend, and I will see you next week. We will keep getting these markets, Didn't take the short from here, but we knew that was the area, still long from down here. And Solana long is playing out nicely as well. Tony CC, welcome in, my friend. Unfortunately, I am about to end the live stream and be done for the week, but hope to catch you on the next one. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you